That's to talk about how you can be a Matric top achiever who appears on TV. How do you become one of the 30 learners who are invited personally by the Minister of Basic Education to join her for dinner, breakfast, and also on stage when she announces the Matric Awards. I often get a lot of questions like, Blessing, do you need to have done sciences? Can you be a Matric top achiever if you did commerce subjects? Blessing, what average should you get? So in this video, I'm going to reflect on my journey. So for those who don't know me, my name is Blessing and I was one of the Matric top achievers in the year 2020. And I'm going to let you on in a small secret which I believe increased my chances of being a Matric top achiever during my year. So just to tell you a brief story. So first time I watched the Matric Awards ceremony, it was in grade 7. But then I didn't understand how they worked. I thought maybe it's kids from private schools or Model C schools that get to go to this Matric Awards ceremonies because you see them with blazers and all those kind of things. So I had little knowledge, even though my teachers always mentioned that if we do work hard as well, we might see ourselves being invited to those Matric Awards. But I had little knowledge. But in grade 7, I told myself, if only private school kids go there, I'll be the first one from a public school, a township school, to go to the Matric Awards ceremony. And I carried that vision through. And that's why I always say vision is everything. But in this video, I want to give you specific details on how the Matric Awards work, right? Because most students, what they do is they say, I want to be a Matric top achiever, I want to appear on TV. But whenever they set a goal, they don't set a specific SMART goal because they say, I want to be a top achiever, but what average should you get to be a top achiever? What are you aiming for? So with me, when I got to grade 11, going into grade 12, I did my research. I had to understand how the Matric Awards work and also what categories are there and which one do I stand a better chance of getting. And then I set my goal based on my research. So what most students do is they set a blind goal. They just say, I want to be a Matric top achiever, which is a dream, which is an aspiration, but it's not a SMART goal. Remember, you have to set goals that are specific. You have to be specific with the average or mark that you want to get that will guarantee you to enter the Matric Awards ceremonies. So when I was in grade 12, I did a little research on how the Matric Awards work. And in this video, I'm going to break it down for you so you save yourself time from doing your own research. So there are 5 categories in the Matric Awards ceremonies, right? So the first one, which I believe is the easiest to get, is the top 3 per quintile. So they give awards to the top 3 per quintile, and in South Africa there are 5 quintiles. So there's quintile 1 to quintile 5, and they give 3 students from quintile 1, top 3 students from quintile 1 awards, top 3 students from quintile 2 all the way to quintile 5 awards. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. Nah, my math is not right. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 students in total who get awards from the quintile award. Might be sitting at home and be like, Blessing, what are quintiles? So if I were to explain what are quintiles, so in South Africa, schools are classified into 5 quintiles from quintile 1 to quintile 5. So usually they classify them based on the income earning bracket of the people living in the surrounding areas and the income earning bracket of the parents of the learners who go to that school. So quintile 1 is usually the poorer schools, up to quintile 5, which is the least poorer schools. That's why you'll find that most of the times quintile 1 to quintile 3 are non-fee paying schools, meaning that the learners who go there, they go for free, they don't pay any fees at all. But quintile 4 and 5, you might find that there are some schools which they do pay fees. Some people refer to the school as former Model C schools. Some of the learners who go there might pay fees, but for some they might not pay fees. But because the surrounding areas, the people who stay there are either middle class or the parents of the learners who go there are also middle class, then they'll classify it towards the upper quintile. So you need to understand first which quintile you're in, and then after understanding which quintile you're in, you know now that okay, cool, every year they select the top 3 in my quintile. We have 5 quintiles, And all the students across South Africa are divided across these quintiles, right? So you'll find approximately 25% of the entire learners in South Africa in one quintile. So quintile 1 is approximately about 25% of the entire learners in South Africa, and quintile 2 has about 25% of the entire learners in South Africa as well. After you do your research, ask your principal, ask your teachers, teacher, which quintile is our school? And then now you know that, okay, cool, they're going to select top 3 learners in my quintile. So I need to make sure that I'm part of this top 3 learners. Go and do your research now and say, in the past 3 years, who were the top achievers in my quintile? Who are these learners who were top learners in my quintile for the past 5 years? And also, what average did they get? And then you'll see that most of the times they play around the same average. And then that will be your goal, and say, if I can achieve this average, I know that I stand a better chance to be in the Matric Awards ceremony. That's what I did. I did research in my quintile, and I realized that most of the times the top achiever in my quintile was always around 92%, 93%, 92%, 93%. I was like, okay, cool. If the top achiever is always around those percentages, then I need to get 93%. And if I can get 93%, then I guarantee myself to be one of the top achievers in the country. And that happened. I got 93% on the dot. So I got to be part of the top 30 learners in the entire country. I got to be part of the Matric Awards ceremony when the Minister of Basic Education was announcing those marks. So firstly, you need to know what quintile am I in. And then after, you say, okay, cool, I'll take the top 3 learners in my quintile. Therefore, I'm going to do research what were the previous top achievers' averages, and I'm going to set a goal to achieve that average. And you don't need to have done sciences in order to get this award. Even if you did commerce, I did commerce myself, and I got to be part of the Matric top achievers. Or you do history, so you do whatever it is. As long as your average is the top average amongst your quintile, then you'll get invited to these awards. And the second category is top 3 learners in special needs schools. The third one is top 3 learners in sign language schools. So now we're done with the 3 categories. And then after that, we get a category for top learners in specific subjects. But they only give awards for 4 subjects, which is technical sciences, physical sciences, mathematics, and technical mathematics. So it's top 3 per subject, which is top 3 in mathematics, top 3 in technical mathematics, top 3 in physical sciences, top 3 in technical sciences. Unfortunately, they don't give awards for all the other subjects, but they focus on this 4 specifically. Therefore, if you're number 1 in mathematics, then you'll also get this award. And the last category is the overall top achiever in the entire country. So these are the students that got an average above all students in South Africa. And usually realize that this student will get 2 awards. So he'll get an award from being the top learner in their respective quintile. Let's say, for example, they come from quintile 4. So they'll get an award for being number 1 in quintile 4 when they announce those top 3 quintile 4 top learners. And when they announce the overall top learner, which is the highest honor, then they'll also get the award again. The overall top achiever category, they select 2 students, one from public schools and another one from independent schools. So independent schools are basically schools that run independently from the government. However, they still write the NSC. Therefore, they classified under the NSC. So I'm all about making impact. I want kids out there to look at me and say, if Blessing could do it, then I also can do it. That's why I wrote a guide, comprehensive guide, whereby I discuss how you can be one of the 30 learners in the Matric Awards ceremony, right? So I break down how the Matric Awards ceremony works, how do you get an invite, the different categories, and then after that, I give you practical tips that you can follow in order to ensure that you guarantee yourself being part of the top 30 learners in the country. Speak on things like how to study for long hours, how to study and remember what you studied, how to beat procrastination, how to structure your study session, how to effectively set up a study timetable. I give subject by subject advice whereby I tell you, if you want to succeed in maths, this is what you need to do, and here are some of the resources that you can use. And I also speak on exam prep advice. How can you start prepping for exams, and by when do you need to start prepping for exams. And I also give advice on what you should do during exam season to also increase your chances of performing well, getting those distinctions, getting those 100%, so that you are invited to the Matric Awards ceremony. So if you're interested in getting this guide, you can go to the description below and you'll find a link whereby you can go get the guide. So make sure you get it now if you really want to be a Matric top achiever. So what's nice is this video is not only for students who are going to be doing Matric. So if you in grade 7, like I said, that my goal was established in grade 7 that one day I want to be part of the Matric top achievers who appear on TV. And ever since, that has been my goal, and I've fixed it in my mind. So this guide will help you in order to understand how the Matric Awards ceremony works, and also utilize some of the study techniques, some of the practical tips that are in the guide in order to start being a top achiever from an early grade, so that when you get to grade 12, you know that you're crushing it and you guaranteeing yourself to be part of the 30 learners who are invited by the Minister of Basic Education to join him for dinner, breakfast, and also the awards. So make sure that you like, so that this video can reach more people and make a greater impact. Make sure that you share it with your friend who's going to do Matric or who's still in high school, who's going to do Matric in the next 5 years. And also make sure that you subscribe to join the community. That's very, very important. Subscribe to join the community so that we can keep on making an impact. Cheers.